From Los Angeles, TraderInsight.com presents Dr. Adrian Manz in the war room and at the helm with today's look at stocks and sectors on the radar.
For TraderInsight.com, this is Adrian Manz, and this is Stocks and Sectors on the Radar for Wednesday, December 10th, 2008. Well, they're going to call this one another flight to safety as the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 242.85 points on the session on Tuesday. That leaves us closing at 8691.33. 993 shares advanced, 2,134 declined. NYSE total volume was 1.44 billion shares, so down a little bit from Tuesday's dramatically higher trading volume. All the way around, things ain't looking so good. So we're back right down in the middle of the Dow box here, and today's flight to safety is interesting for one major reason. The safety everybody's looking for is the T-bill, and the T-bill was so overwhelmed today that instrument traded down around 0% yields for the first time in a long time. And as a matter of fact, at some points during the session, we were showing negative yields. So I give you my money, and then I pay you to hold it for me. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess people feel like it's safer than being in the stock market and doesn't run the risk of burning up in a fire if they have it in their house or something. I don't know, but one way or another, people were accepting pretty low yields today, and the market paid a heavy price for it. Now, as far as the other indices go, the S&P 500 is also in a double header setup, which is where we were left on the Dow Jones today. Both cases, I'm looking for these to come in over the next session here, over the Wednesday session. S&P could come down into 870 or so, and then if we get another move lower, it'll be down into the 852 area, and we'll see if it finds support there. NASDAQ and the NASDAQ 100, a little bit of a different story. These guys opened on their lows and managed to close there as well. So on the NASDAQ 100, if we get a downside move tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for about 1175. And on the NASDAQ comp, downside move, I'm going to be looking at 1507, 1508. So with all that behind us, we need to focus on what our indices are going to be for the day on Wednesday and which stocks within those indices are going to be of interest. I think that first off, we've been talking about the REITs. We've been focused over the last few sessions on the fact that the REITs had the potential to pop higher. We've been talking about that since the beginning of December. The move higher was pretty violent, as is every move right now, because the VIX is still trading in very, very high territory. So we get a lot of volatility, and the move higher in AMB Property Corp is no exception here. It got up to the 50, and then promptly reversed. You go too far too fast to get a reversal bar. In this case, we've got an around-the-horn double header setup. So the logical thing to do on this one for me for tomorrow will be an entry somewhere below 18 and a quarter if we get down there, with an initial profit target around $17. So again, 50% to the profit target. I'll ratchet my stop down to break even, and hopefully I will be able to get a little bit of money on this one on the short side if it breaks down further tomorrow. Also the retailers, right? The retailers just got hammered going into the close today. I don't know what was going on with my trade Tiffany, because it just didn't want to take off for me. Only got 50% to the target on that one, and that was after taking a stop the first time around. But the retail index, the CBOE S&P retail index, is the one that I watch. That one sold off hard into the close, so I was looking for additional retailers to focus on for Wednesday's trading. Buckle Incorporated, this one fits the bill. If I get a move below 23.44 or so on this one, I'm going to be looking for an entry that'll get me down probably around 22.90 or so on an initial move. So that ought to make for some interesting trading on Wednesday. Buckle takes some pretty wide swings for a $23 stock, but I do like the moves, and I like the volatility, especially when the volatility is predictable. Then we've got FedEx. FedEx today, I was looking to trade this thing off the pivots from yesterday's trading. They opened it so far down, it didn't even come close to yesterday's floor trader pivots. So I'm going to be looking at it again for tomorrow. I'm going to watch tomorrow's pivots. I'm also going to watch for any kind of trade lower that pulls the stock back up to around 63.65 and then makes a move back lower again, headed towards 62.31. Those are going to be the zones that I look at for any kind of a pullback and reversal entry. I think it could happen. I think FedEx could shore up in the morning and sell off again as the day progresses. We'll see what happens on that one as well. We've got Mohawk. Mohawk was on the radar. Didn't get the move out of this one today. It's still sort of an infield fly setup. Nothing done today to violate the setup. It just firmed up a little bit. This one didn't sell off. It's a textile. Probably wasn't as much of a victim today as some of these other more exposed stocks were. But I still think that tomorrow we could see a move lower, possibly down around 34.99 or so on an initial entry. That ain't bad. If I can get in at about 35.60 or so, I'll be looking for that move down to really around 35 on a first wave lower. Then two more I've got here. These are oil drillers. The oils, once again, just not the place to be, I think. And we've got on rig, transoceanic, we got a move probably down to around 51.86 on a quick pop. The low on this one was 52.46, so I'm going to be looking around 52.30, 52.35 for some sort of a pattern entry. Got to watch the sectors on these. Got to watch the broader market on them. The oils especially are very sensitive to all that stuff. But rig and Whiting Petroleum, same kind of a story here. I'm going to look for a quick burst to the downside to get this one down around $28.75, maybe even around the $29 range. The low on it was $29.48 on the Tuesday session, and I'm going to look for an entry around $29.35. For other setups, take a look at TraderInsight.com. Click on my Stocks to Watch column. That stuff's all there for free. There's a couple other trades that I'll be watching on Wednesday. If you have any other questions, email me at adrian@traderinsight.com, and be sure and have a good trading day on Wednesday.